Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Tyler Herro's surprising championship claim about the Heat is a stretch. For context, here's what Tyler Herro told Forbes' Matt Issa when asked if the Miami Heat should be considered a championship contender. "I don't see why not. We have everything we need. The Heat are 14 months removed from advancing to the 2023 NBA Finals, but the Eastern Conference has changed a lot since then. The Boston Celtics, fueled by the additions of Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis, won the 2024 championship. The Milwaukee Bucks nabbed Damian Lillard from under Miami's nose. The Philadelphia 76ers signed Paul George and saw Tyrese Maxey blossom into an all-star caliber player. The New York Knicks have retooled around Jalen Brunson. The Heat, meanwhile, remain relatively unchanged. Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus and Caleb Martin are out. Terry Rozier, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Josh Richardson and Kel'el Ware are in. The supporting cast has shuffled a bit, but improvement won't come in the way of adding a premium outside talent. Obviously, there are a lot of teams in the East that think they have externally improved. But I think we've improved internally, Herro told Forbes. It may look a little different, but we have young guys that we hope will continue to get better. Bam Adebayo and I are young guys who are starting to become full-fledged veterans in this league. Terry Rozier is healthy now and ready to compete. Then you have Jimmy Butler, who is extra motivated after not being able to play in the playoffs last season. There's reason to believe the Heat will be better than last season's first-round finish. Few teams suffered as many injuries as Miami, and even an injury-prone roster should get a little more injury luck. Butler, entering essentially a contract year, should be more motivated and engaged during the regular season. That, in turn, could help the Heat avoid participation in the treacherous play-in tournament for the third straight year. Herro and Adebayo continuing to make small leaps in their game can only help. But a championship contender? That's a stretch. Miami's net rating with Butler, Adebayo, and Herro on the court over the last 3 seasons, minus the players who have left the team, is plus 2.0 per NBA WOWY. That's about where the Heat were at last season, plus 1.8. Against teams with a top 10-point differential, the Heat went 5-20 last season, 14-15 in 2022-23 and 10-13 in 2021-22, according to Cleaning the Glass. That's a combined 29-48 over the last 3 seasons. To get to the finals, teams have to beat the good teams, something the Heat have not been good at over the last 3 seasons. All of that said, there's reason to believe. Butler, when engaged, is the rare advantage creator who can power the Heat to the greatest of heights. Even last season, the Heat were 8-1 when Butler posted a usage rating of at least 30%, a usage rate typically associated with a star player. That included wins over the Pacers, Pelicans, and Cavaliers. If Adebayo takes another leap, he could be in the mix for All-NBA next season. Herro, if he focuses more on his efficiency and playing off the ball, could finally carve out chemistry with his fellow team leaders. The additions and growth from Jaquez, Nikola Jovic and Ware offset the losses of Vincent, Strus and Martin and provide the Heat with more versatility and higher upside. For all these reasons, the Heat could be setting up for their best regular season since earning the East's top seed in 2022. On paper, they don't stack up to the Celtics, 76ers or Knicks. It will take some luck to get back to the finals for the 3rd time in 6 seasons. It always does. If Herro's argument is that it's possible, it's hard to dispute. However, the reality is that this team has been middling in net rating and in the play-in tournament for 2 years in a row. Internal improvement can help, but generally, teams don't dramatically change without an outside addition. Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler hoping for stronger campaign than Paul George? Jimmy Butler is hoping for his best season to date with the Miami Heat as he hunts for a maximum contract next offseason. The star forward is, however, 35 at the start of the regular season, with a lot of miles on him from his tenure with the Chicago Bulls. Despite the extra motivation of a new deal, Hoops Hype is projecting a worse campaign from Butler than another veteran star. Hoops Hype's Frank Urbina released the outlet's list of the top 30 small forwards for next season, where Philadelphia 76ers Paul George, number 5, slotted a single spot ahead of Butler, number 6. It's unclear how hand-in-hand that is with Miami choosing not to sign Butler to the max extension he was eligible for this summer, but either way, the star forward chose not to make a fuss about it, Urbina wrote. The decision from Miami's front office not to extend Butler is bold but understandable. Butler's desire for a max extension shouldn't just come from past success with the Heat, but rather from showing there's still star power left in the tank. Giving him a prove-it year could greatly benefit both sides. George is entering a totally new system in Philadelphia, splitting touches with superstar big man Joel Embiid and reigning most improved player Tyrese Maxey. The 34-year-old is accustomed to sharing the ball, playing on loaded rosters for the latter half of his career. The deciding factor in the Butler-George debate for next season is the NBA playoffs. For Butler, 2024-25 will be about proving he can stay healthy and not miss so much regular season time, especially if the soon-to-be 35-year-old is expecting to get one more huge contract in Miami. Could Anthony Edwards be headed to Miami? Rumors heat up. Representing Team USA at the 2024 Paris Olympics, Anthony Edwards, a Minnesota Timberwolves draftee and star player, was living in the moment. The 23-year-old shooting guard, drafted in 2020, has quickly established himself as one of the NBA's most dynamic players. With season-high averages of 25.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 5.1 assists, and 1.3 steals, Edwards' career has taken off alongside the likes of LeBron James and Stephen Curry. Edwards' stellar performance at the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup, where he averaged 18.9 points per game for Team USA, earned him a coveted spot on the roster for the Paris Olympics. However, even as he shines on the international stage, rumors of a potential trade to the Miami Heat are swirling back home. These rumors gained traction when sports writer and podcast host Dan Le Batard discussed the possibility of Edwards being traded on his show. During a recent episode, Le Batard shared some tantalizing hints about the potential move, stating, "I have partial information on something that will be explosive if it happens. I'm just gonna set you up for something here that is speculative right now, but is something to keep an eye on." Le Batard further speculated on the ongoing transition in Timberwolves ownership, with Alex Rodriguez taking over from Glenn Taylor. This shift in leadership has raised questions about the franchise's direction, including the future of President Tim Connelly and, subsequently, their star player, Anthony Edwards. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Anthony Edwards? Leave your opinion in the comments.